So, hey guys, and welcome back to Figuring It Out. I'm Kaycee.
Mm, I'm just eating some frosted flakes, not sponsored. I am Jason Chip. Mm-hmm.
And today we're going to be breaking down loneliness in a connected world.
We're gonna be doing that. We're gonna be doing the whole thing. Kaycee did send me an email. I didn't see it. I didn't get it, so I'm going on a whim, which I always do, and I always nail that shit. So we ain't gotta worry about none. Absolutely not. I just want to make a statement before we get into it. We've been looking at our analytics, and we realized that we have like, what is it, 68 like people following this.
No, we have uh, we have 66 streams and downloads.
Yes, which we just started this, right? We just started this, so that's really big. Congratulations to us. Round of applause for us. Yay! It's very good. We're gonna get those numbers up. Please share this stuff. This means the world to us. This is our goal, our dream to become. It's not really the fame, but like, of course, the fame comes with the message being sent, and I think it helps two unique people who've been through so much, and you guys are in the journey with us to help us achieve a goal that we never thought possible. And with that achievement comes spreading the message of good faith and good humanity all around. So if you want to be a part of that, please share this podcast and listen to it to its full extent. And please enjoy the episode. So let's get into it.
Of course, that was actually perfectly said. So this episode matters right now because social media is a very, very big part of our lives, and it has been since the pandemic. And now, with the rise of remote work, it's just rising by the day. Like, I've gotten more than one job offer for remote sales in the span of the last couple months, if I'm being so honest. Um, it's very much out there now. And also, social media burnout is a really big thing that happens to the majority of people. So, have you ever felt completely alone while scrolling through like an entire feed of people? Is basically what I want to ask you.
Like me?
Yeah.
I felt alone in a tall group of people. I like, I mean, when I brought up the shelter life and I brought up things like that, absolutely. I mean, I lost everything overnight pretty much with a lot of things. Family, friends, everything. I mean, I had betrayal from friends. I had, I lost someone that supposedly loved me. I lost my family even for a bit because they, they kind of were like, you're on your own. So, you know, losing that much things at once, you tend to be alone. A lot of people are like, you need to be comfortable alone. It's like, no, to a degree, yes, but I think that's such a stupid statement to tell people because it's like they're basically telling people to be comfortable with the fact that they might never have someone to have support, and I just don't agree with that statement. And yeah, no, of course, to answer your question, Kaycee, I definitely dealt with that aloneness. Um, I can speak on like in the shelter. Like at first, I was talking about the person that hurt me, no names, of course, but
Mm-hmm.
that left me and stuff like that in a very bad spot. And they at first were not getting it. Like the whole time I was there in the shelter for months and months, like they would just be like, "You never stop talking about this person and kind of how you feel and how hurt you are and how you're gonna make it work and figure it out with family dynamic and everything else." And they would just be like, "You never shut up," basically is what they said. And I remember a conversation, and I hope that they are listening to this, and I don't think that they are, but that I care for every one of those youth that I came across, and one of them was a friend for a while, and I remember them going through their own relationship struggles, and they told me like, I get it now. Like finally, they were like, I get it. I get what you were going through, and I'm so sorry that I wasn't there to listen to you. And this was months after I left, right?
Yeah.
So in that moment, I was so alone because everyone was just hearing the words but not really feeling the emotions because they didn't know how to understand it. And, you know, I just think that to cure that loneliness, I do have a cure for it. To me, I just think I said these really good words to my girlfriend. It was great because I made a connection with her, like on text, and I was texting her, and she said like, what are you like bouncing it on me? And I was like, no, that's not what I'm doing. And I said these really words, and I want to find them really 2 seconds if I can look it up. So similarity is key to connection is what I texted her.
That's actually
So
so true.
yeah, and she totally got it then. That's kind of what my point is. Is I'm so sorry. I just gotta eat some cereal. Stressy, 100%. It's so bad. It's ridiculous. But similarity is key to connection. And then she realized why I keep bringing up like this kind of mirror type vibe, where somebody says something, I have to like mirror it in a sense. Um, call it out from her to realize that like just an example with her is like you know because you do these things because of your past or because of something else, I'm doing these things because of my past also. And we need to work through that. And the only way we can work through that is to accept that we both are struggling in this category or in this criteria. And I think that's the only way humanity and humans can connect, just based off even you, Kaycee. I can bring up you and not even just my girlfriend, but you also having that what the platform that we've created is based off that is how we became what we are now and what we're continuing to grow as. And me and you were lonely in the sense of loneliness, and we came across each other's pages and came across each other's content and had the same goals, and that's how we connected. And similarity equals connection, and that's kind of a statement that I want to bring up. That's a quote that you can quote me on always, is that you you have to find people who have similar goals or similar aspirations or similar experiences. It doesn't need to be goals. See,
Mhm.
people tend to put goals and experiences together. Like what I mean by that is like they'll say one person will say, no, somebody needs to have the similar goals as me, right? But they won't have the experience part of it. Or somebody will say, oh, they need the similar experiences as me, and but they won't have the goals. And I think that you can have one or the other. You don't need both. But people don't look at the other one as much. So say like in a relationship, you'll hear people say like, oh, they need the same goals as me. Okay, but do you open your mind up to the fact that maybe this person has similar experiences to you, but don't have the same goals? But the experiences, you can focus on the experiences and not the goals. And then you can slowly build the goals together. But if you focus on just the goals, the future, right, and not the past, because that's what that is. Experience is past. Goals are future. You need to have both to be like a healthy connection. But if you can focus on the one criteria that you can work with that person, then you can make it work no matter what connection is with whoever. So no matter what relationship, friendship, marriage, whatever it is, right? You need to focus on what you guys are connected on. If you can't if you guys cannot connect on experience or goals, then obviously it's not going to work out. But majority of everybody in this world, I'm telling you right now, just about everyone in this world has either the same experiences or the same goals in life. You know what I mean? Like you can even go down to the minute details in the sense that if if somebody you can't seem to get along with, some homeless bum on the street, respectfully, but if like there's a homeless bum on the street, you can talk to that person, and I guarantee you can relate to some experiences they've been to, or even if they had the same goals and aspirations and made mistakes. We've all made mistakes. So what you do is you break down that person's story and you either go with the goals or experience, and you can easily make friends with them. See, people have this idea when they want to have friends. They're like, oh, like people don't think too deep into it. Actually, they go into it in an aspect of like, oh, like this person's smiling, so that means they like me, or like they're chilling with me and stuff. But real friendship, real relationships are grown off of the aspect of either goals or experiences. That is literally what makes a good friendship or a good relationship. And people need to realize that those two things don't need to coincide right away. But if you're looking to make friends, ask them their goals. And if they don't have the same goals as you, ask them their experiences in life, which takes a little time, so it might be a little awkward at first. But if they have the same experiences as you, but not the same goals, you can work with that. If they have the same goals as you can work with that and then learn if their experiences are different, you can learn from their experiences to help better and grow your relationship with them. And this is with family, this is across all the board. So that's just what I want to say. I think I said that very articulately. That was insane.
100%. One thing I kind of disagree with you on, though, is
Let's.
I know, we actually disagree.
No. This is big moment here. I want to sound the alarms. Let me sound the alarms right now. Let me sound the alarms.
I think that being alone is okay. I'm not saying to stay there forever, but you do have to, like, obviously, to be able to have, like, in my eyes at least, to be able to have a genuine connection with someone, you have to have a connection with yourself first.
Yeah. Okay. I get that. So when you disagree with me, I'm gonna play this theme. There you go.
What's that?
That's the theme. If you know what I played there, that's funny.
I don't really. Wait, play it again?
Oh my lord. Okay, let's do okay, wait.
I know exactly what you just played.
Yep, and that's what we're gonna play when you disagree with
me. No, but like, honestly, like, you can be alone and you can get to that sense of loneliness, but that sense of loneliness can also turn into peace if you let it.
Okay. Here's where I disagree with you on. Okay, here we go. So, as I was saying, this is where I disagree. Yes, we are doing the PH intro for our disagreement because I'm random like that. Make it lighthearted. Because disagreements could be very sensitive topics. They could be, so I want to make it lighthearted. So having that PH intro is hilarious.
Yeah.
But I disagree with you in the context that peace can be given to you individually. Yes, you can learn peace to live with yourself, to be whatever you need to be in the sense of being alone. There's nothing wrong with that. But what I want to say is that people have built this lie. Some people can't do that. Some people can't do it.
I'm not saying that everyone can. I'm just saying, like...
No, I know. But what I'm saying is that the majority of people spew what you're spewing. It's not that you're wrong to spew that, but some people are not built for that. They're not built for it. There's people in this world that are constantly struggling in this society, and I'm one of them. Struggling because people are saying you have to learn peace within yourself. And I have struggled with it so long since I've been separated from that person before. And struggling, and people are like, you got to live peacefully on your own. It's like, no, I've built this life. I've built the life that I built to have someone there by my side. And I'm going to continue to strive for that because that is me. That is what I want, companionship, and I won't settle for less in the sense that, and I think there's a big distinction that people need to pull out, and not just say you have to live peacefully on your own stuff because you don't know that person, and that person's heart might not be built for that. I'm not built to be alone. I cannot be alone. I said when I made commitments in my life, I said to higher power, and I've said before, I've said to the higher power, like, if this don't work out, like, I can't be alone. I cannot. I refuse to live in the idea that I just live peacefully alone. I know there's someone out there for me, and I found someone. There's just an amazing person. I want to specify an amazing person that's so supportive. It means the world a lot. the way she's been so strong for me. And I'm trying to do the same back in this healing journey that I'm living. But it, as long as you make the distinction, Kaycee, like you have already just then, that not everyone can just live peacefully alone. Like in the situation I have with a child and stuff, yes, I can live peacefully alone technically and raise that child. But that is obviously not the goal in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
because
want
you
to.
have I mean, you're also further along in your life than I am.
Exactly, and that's what I'm trying to put out there is that depending on the steps you are in life, I think it's harmful sometimes, even not that you're causing harm purposely, but it's harmful to just put it out there blatantly that you got to live peacefully in your life, and it's like this person is struggling so hard and wants to give so much, and then when people hear that, because I've heard that so many times from people, where they're like, you need to focus on yourself, you need to focus on yourself. It's like I've been focused on myself. Like I've been doing that, and I think that putting yourself out there, if your heart really wants that connection, you'll find it eventually. You got to live peacefully within yourself for a certain time period, but don't just wait around. Like definitely put yourself out there. Try to go out there more in public setting stuff, and keep having that interaction, because when people say like live peacefully within yourself, it's almost as if they're saying like it comes across as, oh, sit within your feelings and you'll figure yourself out, basically is what it sounds like. And it's like, no, I want to specify to people that feel the same way I feel, put yourself out there more, take more chances in life, go out there, enjoy your life. Don't hold off on the feeling that you might find something, because you know what, if I did that, I wouldn't have found the person that I found today. So at the end of the day, like it breaks it down in categories. Me and you agree, Kaycee, more than you may have thought originally. We've obviously agreed on this, but I think there needs to be specifications put down for that statement, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. And like, I don't know, the only reason why I feel that way is because I've I feel like I've just been left to sit in my feelings for a lot of my life. And like obviously I like don't hate everyone that put me in that position because I do know that my emotions can get like be a lot. Like I know that I'm a lot because I care so deeply about everything and that's just who I am and that's not going to change. Um I don't know, like I've forgiven people like so many times and I'm just at this crossroads in my life where I'm just like so done and I can like be at peace by myself because I've been doing it for so long. Not that that's exactly healthy. Like do I need to get out and be around more people and see more things? Absolutely. Does it terrify me? Yeah, absolutely. Because I've done things by myself for so long that trying to have connections with people is just scary because I know exactly what's going to happen before it even happens. If that
And
makes sense.
yeah, that right there, because you were just about to finish there, so you were about to ask my piece on it. I know that, so that's why I just interjected there, because
Yeah,
you said if that makes sense, and I want to clarify to you, it makes perfect sense. But what I must say to you is, you must fear to create. And that is a statement I'm saying. And my
yeah,
knowledge is coming through so strongly this episode, more than it ever has, I think. I think that I'm really taking over this conversation. I'm sorry, Kaycee, but this is something so deep to me, I guess. More
that's
than I
okay.
expected. I'm not trying to take from you or anything, but I think there's a lot to learn here. Um, but when you said it doesn't make sense, and you must fear to create, is what I have to say to that. That's another quote that you can take from me. You can take a lot of quotes from this. But what I mean by that is, you must fear to create. If you can consistently let fear control you and not take chances, not to go out, and there's somebody close to me in my life that is taking such a leap. If if you just live in fear constantly, you'll never be your full potential, your best self. You know what I mean? You're never gonna achieve that high. You might achieve financial success. You might achieve a lot of things, but true happiness, true joy almost seems make believe if you consistently let fear control you. So you must let fear be your motivator to create the joy and happiness that you deserve in life. And that is something that I want to say to you, Case. It's what I want to say to you. It's what I want to say to a lot of people, because there is so much to fear in this world. So much to fear. It almost feels daunting, impossible even. But I'm telling you, Kaycee, and the viewers, and even myself in this, that there is so much joy out there in the world if we just stop numbing ourselves by fear and we let it control our lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Um, I'm not like completely letting fear take over me, but I do catch myself at times. Like, I obviously, I was looking through my phone the other day and I literally have like 8 gigabytes worth of drafts because I'm just too scared to post them. And I shouldn't be scared to post them. There's this guy on TikTok. His name is like Matthew Pua or something. And he like preaches to just be your authentic self, to put out whatever you need to put out into the world.
I think, Kaycee, on a personal note, it's just like you, like I would say for you, um, is like I think you actually, the advice you give, I think that's advice that you stand by for so long that you just tend to believe it. And you know what? I believe, Kaycee, that you should take the advice that I said. And I think you're not built for that lonely life. I really don't. I've seen the love you give. I know you personally. You know what I mean? On a personal note, just from the podcast perspective and the healing journey that we are facing, I genuinely believe that you should take my advice and take more risk out there and go out there. And I think that you putting yourself down and being like, and go back to our vulnerable video that we did, our episode 2.5, where you said, giving up on love. And you know what? That is such a true thing. And so many people suffer with that. And I want to thank you for telling that, of course, and presenting that. But I think that you need to stop. You need to stop thinking, I'm going to be peaceful with myself. I've done it for so long. No, you're comfortable in that. Be comfortable with the uncomfortable is what I have to say to you, Kaycee. Stop being
But
you're used to it, right? You're used to it, and you're like, I'm peaceful with myself. I'm just gonna give up on this idea. But I don't believe truly, from knowing you for the time that I've known you for so long now, I don't think that that's what you want in life. And if it's not what you want in life, why are you comfortable with it? Why are you comfortable with less? Is my question to you.
honestly, I'm comfortable with less because that's what I've always known. And is that right? No. Is that healthy? No. I've recognized that and I'm trying to change that every single day. I think it's just really hard for me to open up to love because every time I try, I just like obviously I know disappointment is a factor with people that you love and like I've accepted that. I can pour so much of myself into anybody, but at the end of the day, none of them will check up on me. And that's where I stand. And
Yeah,
that's
and you know
and
what?
that's why I tend to pull away from people because I, I don't know, like I guess I'm just like drawn to limerence in a lot of my connections because I've been lonely for so long and I've been in this place where I feel like I'm stuck for so long that once I finally find a connection that's meaningful, it's not that I'm self sabotaging it. It's that I've learned to be done with doesn't like what doesn't feel right to me.
But I want you to realize that if you took your advice that you took right there, right, and be happy with the peace and stuff, and being, you would not have this podcast. You would not have me as your friend and your brother. You would not have that if you took that advice. Is my point. You would not have what you're building so strongly with me on your side, and I appreciate that so much, what you've done and built. And if you took that advice, because you're looking at it through a one-dimensional lens, or if that's the right word I'm looking for, you're looking at it through a love lens. But if you look at it from a bigger picture lens, you've created something so powerful, so meaningful to your life, and so great. You say you're self-sabotaging, but you have not self-sabotaged this at all. You've stand very firm in our friendship and the growth that we've had with this podcast. So, you got to stop having that lower self-talk when it comes to that you're self-sabotaging. No, you're not self-sabotaging, you're protecting. That's the difference. And I think people need to stop using the term self-sabotaging and the word protecting, because self-sabotaging, you're only protecting yourself. And when you say self-sabotaging, you're putting blame on yourself for protecting your heart because it's been hurt so much. So people need to stop using the term self-sabotaging. It shouldn't exist, because all you're doing is protecting yourself, right? But when you reached out, right? When you keep throwing yourself out there, you're going to get a yes. And I was a yes. I was a yes with you. I was the podcast, everything. That didn't just start overnight. We started making content together. We started doing things, and then we were like, boom, podcast. You said podcast, you got me joining, then we became this whole figuring things out, right?
Yeah.
So you continuously do those things. Reach out to people. Don't give up, because you've created this podcast because of that. So you've done one thing that has a huge impact, right? So even all those little nitty things that fail, at the end of the day, you've created this because you put yourself out there. You reached out to me. You were the one that reached out to me, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
And I
I
saw your
was.
comment. And then, yeah, exactly. So that one little thing caused this huge ripple effect. So, I implore you to stop focusing on the little things, the little friends not wanting to hang out or things like that, because at the end of the day, you reached out to the one person, myself, that was doing the same things, same goals, aspirations, and you had this podcast idea. You came up with all that. You took risks. You took a chance, and look where we are now. So you continuously keep in that mindset. God knows how big you'll grow. You know what I mean? So don't say self-sabotaging, because you're protecting yourself, and I don't want you to put yourself down in that headspace. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I should be a therapist.
You low-key should. You got me, like, in tears, kind of.
No, it's good to be vulnerable, right? We went over this. So if you need to cry, if you need to be, because at the end of the day, like, I'm here to help you in your healing journey and help myself, and helping others is something that I'm very passionate about. And I know that, and I'm going to come off script here for a little bit here. I'm not on script, but I'm going to come off script. I know that there is people who's been in my life, and you know who you are, that are listening, and they might say I'm not as nonchalant in the podcast, and I'm calling someone out. You know who it is, Kaycee.
Yeah.
And other people that say that I'm being fake or I'm not being genuine. But genuinely, I am here to help people in this world, and I'm going to do it one person at a time, whether it's Kaycee, whether it's other people. And you're just upset because you didn't accept my help when you got the chance, and now you lost it. So that's just what I want to say about that piece, because that's part of my healing journey, and that's my statement to you. So, screw you, basically, for hurting me in the way you hurt me. And you're going to see me help so many people, and you could have been one of those people, but you didn't get your chance, and you lost your chance, and you're never getting it back. So live with that, and that's all I have to say about that. So, Kaycee, I
Period.
hope that I've helped you learn a lot, and you can speak on what I've said and in this podcast. I've took over so much of your time, and I'm so sorry. It's just like, I don't know what's gotten over me, but like it's just something that gets over me sometimes. And I know that you're struggling in a hard time right now, Kaycee, and I just thought that these are beautiful messages to be put out there to help other people and to help yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree 100%. Um, so one of the possible causes of modern loneliness is definitely superficial online interactions. Like, not everyone you meet online is going to be genuine. that's something that we touched on in the last one, actually, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, and I said I want to specify. I said celebrities. You can't trust them bitches. You can't trust celebrities.
Not really.
No, you can't. And I
It's
just,
I think I it's I feel like you can after a long time.
yeah, and I
Because
think that comes. Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
I'm like the type of person that likes to like pour my heart out, obviously, and trust people off rip. And I actually had someone reach out to me on TikTok today, and I had like a decent conversation with them. It was a random dad that just came across my page and just told me like I need to find the message actually. You should never let people do that to you. I mean, sure, breaking ties with fake friends, but knowing who your true friends are is another thing. I found, and I learned a long time ago. People will talk about you. Why will they talk about you? Because you're stuck a chord. What? You struck a chord, and that's why they question whether it be you. No false negative or maybe truth that hurt them and they can't deal with the truth or they're just jealous of you. I don't know if that even makes sense. It was kind of like I found if I let people get at me that way that I've already lost. It's better to think positive. Sure, you can you can stay in your room as life passes you by, but do you really want to live like that? And that kind of just like flipped a switch in me that was like I really don't want to live this way. I do want to have connection in the world, and I think the reason why it's so hard to have connection in the world is because you can literally go to a restaurant and there could be like a family of 5 there, and I swear every single person will be on their phone not having a conversation. There's such a lack of in-person community because of social media, and I think that's something that people need to realize, and that's why a lot of people are very lonely because we can't put the phone down when we're around other people. And I'm a victim to that, obviously. You called me out in one of our podcast episodes about it, actually.
Oh yeah, there's many times where I'm just rambling on to you or something about something, girlfriend or whatever, and keep me on the deets, as my friend, my close friend, and you're just on your phone. I'm just like, what the hell? Like,
I'm getting better though.
no, yeah, for real, and it's like it's also it depends on the situation, of course, when it comes to the social media aspect. I get that, but back to loneliness, I think when you stated in the text like you don't want to live in a room, I said that also like that's the life not built for you. It's not. You pour your heart out like I do. You need to find someone like I have that is. And I know it's easier said than done, but I'm telling you that like when you put yourself out there, because you remember like I'll break a little personal background of kind of what occurred in broad terms. I won't go in details, but I will say that like you can like Kaycee, you can confirm this. Like I was ready to just give up, wasn't I?
Yeah. Jason
I was
called me
just
and he
like,
was like, I don't know, like, I really don't think love is for me. Like, I don't know if it's ever going to find me. And I kind of just like sat there and I was like, Jason, once you fully give up on love like this, it's going to come in for you.
and I reached that point, and then I was gonna go out. Like, it's hard not to get emotional when to talk about this because it was like so crazy how it happened. But like, I was ready to go out and just be stupid, and then I had an opportunity to go out with somebody and go out with a few people, and then I met her, and it was so crazy because like she saved me from. I mean, Kaycee too. Credit to Kaycee, but also like
Yeah,
at the end
facts,
of the
I
day,
saved
like
your life.
yeah, no, you did because I was really at a point where, I was like, it's just not gonna. And in the situation that occurred and everything, I just did not see me even being with this person at the time when I first met her. Like I didn't. And then situations arise and things came, and I was so nervous, lust and love and all this stuff, and it was so confusing. And at the time, I wasn't ready to give love, and I'm still, unfortunately, still guarded, and I'm struggling really hard with that, and I feel very alone in that, and I know I'm not alone, but I struggle really hard because I just when you give so much to somebody for so damn long in your life, and it's really hard to get over, and trauma bond or not, it's like it's just you keep telling yourself, how could someone be such a horrible person, you know? And you have such a big heart that you kind of tend to make yourself loneliness. You tend to push away people that love you most and stuff because you are so focused on empathy for that person, because you're like you try to understand where they're coming from, and you focus so much on this person so deeply for so long, you tend to overindulge yourself, and that's part of trauma bond. But I think a bigger part that people don't talk about trauma bond is trying to empathize and fix that individual, and I think that's what made my trauma bond so powerful in the time it was, and what made me so lonely and pushed away everybody's, because I was just so focused on trying to repair and fix this person. They just kept digging their hole and digging their hole, and I just kept trying to pull them out. I kept trying to pull them out, whether it's financially or anything, right? And I would do anything, just trying to fix that person, just to know that, like, I care. But at a certain point, when they do the things they do for you, it's like they're just taking advantage of your care, and they're the only person that I ever gave up completely on caring anymore. And I think that's why it hurts me so bad. It's not because like I love them or anything like that, but just because I gave so much, and to see them screw everything up because of their own decisions, and nothing of my own decisions, right? Their own decisions, and they still cannot see. They will never see, and I have to accept that they will never see truly how wrong they are, how horrible they are. And it doesn't matter, because I know they listen to this podcast. It doesn't matter now at this point if you figure it out or not, because you you put me through the ringer. You were just such a horrible person. You just, like, I can't imagine treating anyone the way you've treated me. I can't imagine. And this is what this podcast is about. So it is related to loneliness. I want to say, Kaycee, this is just me healing myself a little bit. So I hope you stick with me here.
Yeah.
I hope you understand. But you just fucked up the whole meaning of love, what care is, everything. And for an individual to come into my life and to show me more care than you have in 8 years of my life, then you are. I don't even have words to describe what kind of person you are. And I hope that you wake up every day knowing that you screwed up the nicest person ever and had the biggest heart ever, and now I have to go through all this pain and to heal myself because of the shit you put me through. So, like, I just don't even know what to say at this point, but you just, I hope you just constantly realize what kind of person you are. And I need to heal from this, and I'm going to heal from this. I'm going to become such a stronger person for it. And this podcast is going to get big. I'm going to get big. I know I'm going to make it. And I'm doing very well when it comes to my other relationship now, and everything's falling into place slowly. But screw your apologies, screw all that stuff, because at the end of the day, when you came to apologize to me, it was a half-hearted apology. It was stupid. It was dumb. It was so dumb. Okay, so stop hating me for your stupid bullshit is what I have to say to that, and get over yourself. So that's what I have to say. Oh, it's rough, but yeah. You can say something to somebody if you want, also, Kaycee, to close it out.
I honestly, like, I want to say something, but at the same time, like, what is it going to benefit me?
Pick yourself up. You got this. You're going to do great. You're going to do fine. You're a very successful woman in the sense of the way you approach yourself. And don't be apologetic for the emotional side of yourself. Never be apologetic for that. It's human, okay? And I'm very true on this. Emotions are human. We're built to have emotions. It's normal. It's fine. So embrace them is what I have to say, Kaycee, and embrace your feelings of anger, upset, whatever you need to feel. This is what this podcast is for. Yes, we have different topics. We have certain topics to talk about. But at the end of the day, it's for our healing journey too. So if we can cover both, great. But we prioritize healing. So I want you to really focus on words that we went over today, Kaycee. I want the viewers to also think that, and I want to thank the viewers for being part of this journey every single day. And I implore people who have reached the finale of this, which we're almost probably at the end, are we, Kaycee?
Yeah, we're like basically at the end now. So basically, if you're lonely, it's probably because you're choosing it, is what I've realized through this entire conversation because I've been choosing loneliness for my entire life because that's what I've seeked comfort in. Obviously, it's not something that everyone can do. Um, if you're strong enough and you're in the position that I am, please reach out to someone this week and get out. Like, go do something because it's genuinely going to change a lot for you. Um, yeah.
And if you finish this podcast to the end, please comment on mine or Kaycee's post that you watched it or your thoughts, or even DM us, whatever. Um, on Instagram, on anything, whatever. TikTok is mostly our platform, but just like put your thoughts in and give us feedback, and just be strong in who you are, and kind of you know because at the end of the day, we're just figuring it out. So that's me, Jason Chip, and Kaycee Timmons figuring it out, right? So,
Yeah.
I implore you guys to figure it out with us and join us as we figure out life's biggest problems and qualms and how we're going to solve them and make this world a better place.
I have a form that you guys can fill out in my Instagram bio that I do encourage you to go fill out. There you can put a subject and you can give us a little bit of a backstory, like, because we are going to do advice sessions if you guys fill out the form. So please go fill out the form so that we can do advice sessions.
Absolutely, and I'm going to be talking to Kaycee and behind the scenes. Maybe we'll talk about doing TikTok lives together and stuff to help other individuals and stuff. And I think we're going to build their foundation, and we're going to be talking about merch and stuff still in the works. It's just going to take time, of course, but we're going to do some really great things. And it's like, I see it ahead of us, and I see a great future for me and you, Kaycee, and what we believe in our plans for the future. So I'm very thankful for the opportunity that has arose for us. And if it wasn't for the people that hurt us, we wouldn't have been here. We wouldn't have these aspirations. So, I just wanted to thank the person that hurt me the most in that way, because you know what? Gonna do amazing things now, and you're not holding me back anymore. So, thank you for that.
And honestly, I thank everyone for hurting me because it just makes me realize what I don't want and what I want. So, I don't know. This isn't even a tip for tat. Tate McRae
I
reference, but
actually, yeah, no, I really want to bring up something actually really crazy dream I had that is related to this, and I want to close in on this. I had a dream, Kaycee, and it's so related to this. It's unbelievably related to this. It's insane. So I had a dream last night, and I never forget it. It was actually 2 nights ago. It was the crazy stream. Everyone was actors in the stream besides me, basically, right? Everyone was doing their own thing. There was like this whole city that I was in, right? I was walking around. There was a pastor. There was church there. I walked in that. I saw everyone as actors, basically. They played this constant role in their headspace. So it was like the Truman Show almost. Everyone was doing this acting. Everyone was trying to be this person that they weren't, right? And like I was the only person that was like super genuine. And then I met this painter, this painter, and he was like he was like me, and he was like doing his own thing, walking around, listening to music, whatever. And I was like, man, you're like me. And he was like, yeah, I know, I paint on this street at this time or whatever. And I remember just walking in and saying a bunch of crazy stuff, and everyone was just acting like their own little NPC type vibes, I guess you could say. Like they were just doing their typical scripted stuff that they all do. Like, you know, when people say, "Oh, how are you?" and people say, "Oh, I'm fine," right? That's a scripted moment, right? We all have these little scripts that we run through. We don't actually be our genuine selves, right? So that was basically what it was, and I was just trying to like get people to stop doing that and be their true selves. And in the dream, but when I met this painter guy, I remember sitting there, and the dream ended so beautifully because I was watching this guy just paint away, and everyone was just walking by this painter who like thought it for himself, and I like watching him paint, and everyone wasn't interested in the paint; they were interested in their own lives and everything else. But like to sit there and to see someone else that was just like me, that was the genuine self, and didn't have to fall into this whole worldly, like, you got to fit in a certain category, you got to feel this way, you got to do this, or you got to do this for yourself. And just to be content in that was just such a beautiful thing to wake up to, you know. And I think the dream very much relates to the loneliness, is that people are trying to build a character themselves so they never feel lonely. And you know what? This world, if you be your true self, you'll find the right people. But you got to find your true self first to find those people, is what that means. So I think that's a good way to end this episode.
It is a very good way to end this episode. I am going to be making a separate episode this week also discussing the understanding of limerence, just because I feel like it's something that I really have to talk about.
That's a solo one, so stay tuned for that, for Kaycee solo. It won't be as much talkative probably, but
oh my gosh.
It won't be as, you know, as
I feel like I got a lot to say about limerence.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, we'll have to get the viewers to decide on that there, Kaycee. We'll have to get the viewers to decide on that for sure. But Kaycee has this much calmer demeanor, more like she has. I find, Kaycee, you have less to say, but when you do have so much to say, you're very passionate about what you believe and you're very strong in it. So
yeah,
you being solo is very good, because I know I take up about 70% of the podcast when I'm in it. So you having a solo one is perfect to balance it all out. And I'm so proud of that. And I'm so grateful that you give me that time. And then you get also your little solo one too. So please check out Kaycee solo ones. You're going to have to probably title it something different, like Kaycee solo journey part 1 or something, and part 2 or something. I don't know. But you know, you'll come up with the names, and I can't wait to know what it is. Yeah, surprise me a little, you know, I'll see it. But yeah, no, check out Kaycee's, you know, single podcast there. Thank you guys so much for listening, and stay tuned for next episode. What's the next episode about? Give me a little drum roll.
Give me one sec.
Oh my gosh, she never prepared for these things.
Anxiety in everyday life.
Oh Lord, are we in for a 2-hour special episode?
Oh my gosh. We're like actually gonna have so much to say about that because I've been so anxious.
We should put that in a 2-parter. That should be a special 2-parter.
Yeah, episode. I think we're probably going to have to like split that up because there's so much to say about anxiety. Everyone's struggling with anxiety. Like,
that's going to be a great episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed figuring things out with your host and co-host, you know, Kaycee Timmons and Jason Chip, and eventually we're going to figure it out.
Yeah, eventually. It's all. I actually said something. I put it in a caption in a TikTok, and I said it to someone the other day. But time is the essence to growth and prosperity in this life.
Yeah, you're right.
So keep loving yourselves. Keep um trying to find connections in many different ways. Go to a coffee shop, go for a walk and meet someone every single day. Because who knows, they might be your next best friend.
Take your own advice, Kaycee. I'm telling you, you'll be surprised. I took your advice. You take mine now. It's
I
all on
will.
the internet now. It's all in the internet. You can't hide it. I'm going to ask you if you took my advice next episode. So you damn well be.
I will take your advice. I think it's just very hard for me to do in the town that I live in. I feel like if I, like, obviously, I do want to save up money and get out of here because I feel like other places have so much more opportunity, and I just feel like people down here really don't understand what's going on with me.
All I'm going to say, oh my goodness, do you remember when I read the future for you? 2 weeks' time? Holy crap.
Yeah,
Make or break?
you literally said that too. You were like,
Oh,
in 2 weeks' time, something's gonna happen. It's going to be make or break for you, and this is going to be your decision maker. And I was like, honestly, Jason, I feel it too. It's going to only be 2 weeks, and I'm going to go through a major shift. And the reason why that happened is because there's always an October canon event. Always. Every
fair
single
enough.
October, something happens.
You
Yeah.
can end it there, Kaycee, and peace out.
Yeah, peace, guys. We love you. And keep going.
Yes.
Because you got this, we got this. And we're all just figuring it out. See you next time.